Hello, my friends. I'm Kathy Rhodes. Thanks for joining me again today. Today, I'm going to challenge you to think differently about your pace. Yeah, your pace in life. Are you a fast-paced person? Are you a steady-paced person? Well, really, to be honest, it doesn't matter. Bottom line, we all, breathe deeply, we all have to learn how to slow down in life. We have to learn how to slow down if we truly want to speed up. Now, if you've been watching any of my podcast episodes, you would have seen some interviews, not interviews, but co-presenting with my husband, John. He's had a very tough life lesson of learning how to slow down when he fell down some stairs and broke his neck. Check out those other podcast episodes and more to come, just talking about how he was mandated to slow down, but how he still has to choose to slow down. So let's back up on this slowing down topic a little bit. Why? Why do we have to really embrace this idea of slowing down? And okay, if it's that big of a deal, how do we do it? I'm glad you asked. Let's start with the why. Why should I slow down? Because our body and our brain actually works better when we do. And growth, things that we are growing at, it requires us to do this. Now, we have a piece in our brain. Okay, we all have a brain, right? And there's a piece in the brain right behind our forehead. Right up front here, it's called the prefrontal cortex. Very important piece of our brain. This is where all of the facts and rationale and logical thinking happens. This is where all of the administrative duties in our day, scheduling and responsibility, and even things like self-control. Self-control is all up here in the prefrontal cortex. A lot of research, a lot of science is showing that this part of our brain right up front, well, let's just say it's very sensitive to stress and effort. It consumes a ton of energy right up here in the prefrontal cortex. I mean, let's back up a minute and let's really think about when you have a really intense day at work, or maybe just an intense day playing, whatever, just an intense day. Where do you feel it most? For me, I feel it in my eyes. I feel it just right here, right? It's just a headache. It's just kind of behind my eyes. I wanna be off my screens. I want to just rest my eyes a little bit. Actually, I really want to go to bed and get a good night's sleep. Yeah, well, that's all the prefrontal cortex. Okay? So when we are stressed, when we're rushed, when we are overloaded with projects, overloaded with duties, overloaded with schedules, overloaded to a point of being overwhelmed, well, our brain defaults to the automatic reactions. When we're overloaded, we go into auto drive. Our habits, our emotions even, our impulses, this is when I binge eat in front of the TV, even our speed. Those are all automatic reactions. So when we're overloaded, we go into a faster pace. What do we do when we're not overloaded? Well, we think. We have thoughtful decisions. We really look at everything and we don't just react. I'm sure you all can think back to times when you've been a really good, steady-paced, and you've made wise decisions versus fast-paced, rushing around, stressed out, and you're making poor decisions. Slowing down, it's not natural. Okay, it's just not natural in our body. Our brain is trying to put us into the automatic mode, and speeding up our pace is what automatic is. So it's not natural, but it can be learned. It can be trained. You can truly train yourself, train your spouse, train others on how to do this. Now, all the research that's being done, it really does show that slow-paced breathing can improve our decision making and even our emotional regulation. Okay, so this is why intentional slowing your pace actually trains our brain to stay in control instead of falling into that autopilot. We're going to talk more about breathing here in a minute, but I'm hoping that you're starting to understand the value of slowing down, of being intentional with your pace. So if you've been this way for your whole life, how do we learn how to slow down now? Well, I have 2 tools that I'm going to give you today. The first is an acronym, and actually you're going to see a reminder every time you're out on the road. The acronym is SLOW, S-L-O-W. Have you ever seen a slow sign? The other day, here, I'm going to show you a picture, because the other day I pulled over to take this picture of the slow sign that I saw on the side of the road. And I loved it because I've been, working on this whole podcast episode and this whole training, and to see that just gentle reminder, we need to slow. And what this means is we need to stop, look, observe, and usually when we're observing, we're asking ourselves questions like, what else? What do I need to remember? What do I not want to forget? And then the W stands for what matters most. So let me paint a picture a little bit. Let me take you to my kitchen. Not literally, just pretend, right? My kitchen is where I stockpile everything that I want to take with me for the day. Maybe it's the mail that I need to throw into the box. Maybe it's trash to take outside. Maybe it's something for the post office to be mailed, like a package. Maybe it's my coffee cup, my water cup, my computer bag, all of this stuff, right? You all have that place in the house where you put everything because you don't want to forget it. So as I'm getting ready to leave and I load up my vehicle, I always come back in the house one more time and I just slow. I stop, I look around the kitchen, and I observe, do I have everything? Did I miss anything? And then I even think, is there anything else I should be taking with me? Ooh, maybe I do need my coffee mug to refill at the next gas station. Maybe I'll run to the cupboard and grab that. And then finally, what matters most? Well, I'm leaving the house today. What matters most is that the dogs have water. Is the water bowl full? Great. Did I turn off the stove? I used it for breakfast. Did I turn it off? That matters most. You see how my brain just went in a totally different direction. Now, how long do you think this takes? It really takes less than 30 seconds. Then why don't we do it more often? Why do I still leave my leftovers at the restaurant instead of taking them home? Why do I still leave my coffee mug on top of my car as I pull out of the driveway? Why do I still create more work for myself because I didn't slow? Leaving the driveway, the other day I had this thought. As I left the driveway, we live on a street where there's not many cars, so I stopped and I slowed. I stopped and I looked back at the house and I observed. My questions that I was asking myself, first of all, do I have everything? Because it never fails. I remember when I'm 1 block away from the house. I remember what I forgot. Ugh. But also, did I even shut the garage door? That's what matters most. Those are the types of things that we won't forget when we just slow. Take 30 seconds and slow. I was at the gym this morning and I have my iPad or my headset, whatever those are called, right? I have my phone, I have my water bottle, and then there's the equipment that I used. So I quickly slowed before I left the gym. And I stopped and I turned around and I looked back at where I was working out and I observed. Well, sure enough, there were some weights still on the machine that I need to take off. Did I even remember to wipe down the machine? Oh, what matters most? What matters most is that I don't leave a footprint. That I not only have everything with me when I leave, but I also leave it ready for somebody else. That's what matters most. Just little things like that. It doesn't take long. slowing isn't about doing less. It's just about being more efficient and more responsible in the things that we are doing. It's about doing what truly matters most, because I do like to be efficient. I do like to keep my day going. And if I want to speed up in the rest of my day and not have to go back and pick something up that I forgot, or not have to spend more money and buy something because I forgot to pack it, not all of that really does slow me down. And that kind of drives me crazy, because it's just because I didn't take time in the morning to really slow. The second tool I want to give to you today is breathing. Yeah, breathing. How often do you do it? I know. We do it all the time. But do you really take deep cleansing breaths? Or are you breathing in a really shallow manner? And if you're speeding around in your day, you are breathing in a shallow manner. It's very rare that we take a deep cleansing breath. So here's what I want to teach you. And I want to do it right now. Right now while you listen, I want to do it. We're going to do the 4-8-7 breathing technique. And what that means is I'm going to count to 4. And at that point, you're going to take a deep breath in 4 beats. And then I'm going to count to 8. And I want you to hold your breath for 8 beats. I want you to put the tongue on the roof of your mouth and not let any air out of your nose, out of your mouth, okay? Truly hold it for 8 beats. And then I'm going to count to 7. And I want you to release your breath in 7 beats. And then you're going to sit for 1 or 2 beats, and we're going to do it again. In on 4, hold for 8, release for 7, sit. And then I'm going to go silent. And I want you to do it 2 more times to your own beat. Okay? The research really shows that this intentional, slow breathing, it's not just relaxing. It really is a neurological connection. It connects our emotional regulation mechanisms to our brain. This is why when we get speeding around and we're out of control, we're emotional, we're out of control, and we're not breathing. So let's practice this right now. Take that cleansing breath. And now breathe in. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sit. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do it again on your own. And one more time. How do you feel? It is relaxing. Can you tell that your pace is slower now? It's amazing what will happen for us when we just give our brain oxygen. By the way, this breathing technique really helps at night too. If you can't sleep, do the same thing. It helps your body slow down, helps your mind stop racing so you can get a good night's sleep. This is going to help you to eventually speed up your thinking. We need to slow down so that we can speed up when we need to, especially when it comes to our thoughts. So here's my challenge for you this week. First of all, I want you to slow, stop, look, observe, and decide what matters most. I want you also to breathe, the 4-8-7 breathe, and anytime you're in your car this week and you're driving, I want you to drive the speed limit. I want you to slow down and drive only the speed limit, not a mile over. Here's a little tip. Use your cruise control. Use it in the 25-mile-an-hour zone. Use it in the 70-mile-an-hour zone. Just drive the speed limit. How many of you right now are thinking, no, I can't. I have to at least go one above because then I'm making good time. Take all the negotiation out of it and just drive the speed limit only for this next week. That's it, just for 1 week. And here's what I want you to observe. Well, first of all, by driving the speed limit, you've already decided what matters most. I mean, safety, right? But also, it's all about getting control over your own brain. If the prefrontal cortex is where self-control is, then create some self-control. Don't get into auto drive and let the foot go down on the gas pedal and make you go faster. Be in control of something like driving. You make that choice. This really is going to free up mental energy. It's going to free you up. It's going to be on cruise control. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful activity. It's also going to kind of expose how uncomfortable slowing down could possibly feel. You think that you're obeying the speed limit, and you will be, okay? But actually, you're also practicing delayed gratification, emotional regulation, awareness, discipline, intentional choices. This really isn't a driving challenge. It's a thinking challenge. We need to put ourselves in this situation. We need to choose control and not let our autopilot take over. Okay, spoiler, you're gonna notice impatience, justification. Well, everybody else is speeding, I can speed too. Or how about this one? Well, I gotta pass them, so I have to go fast. Okay, you're gonna notice urgency without urgency. I mean, why? Why do we speed? Does it really get us there faster? The desire to override the rules of driving, if it starts to really annoy you, congratulations. You're doing it right. I hope that you can gradually graduate into also feeling JOMO. Have you ever felt JOMO? The joy of missing out. Have JOMO when somebody passes you. Have JOMO when you just enjoy the birds or the animals or the scenery, or just have JOMO. Don't let your habits rule you, please, please. For this next week, slow down, take control, and choose how you want your brain to work for you. I hope that today's topic has challenged you a little bit, challenged you to think differently, challenged you to think differently about your pace. Slow down. Give your body and brain a break. Choose wisely so that you can speed up when you need to. We'll see you next time, my friends. Be great. I hope this topic has challenged you to think differently as you strive to grow from success to world class. Please follow this podcast, share it with your friends, and follow me and Unity Consulting on all social platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and our website, unityconsultingllc.com. I look forward to connecting with you next time to challenge your habits so that you are more efficient and fully empowered.